College Conference Basketball Tournament in 1921. Mississippi State, 8th-ranked Kentucky, renew acquaintances tonight. Both trying to bounce back after a loss over the weekend. And with that, we're going to be courtside time.
Them at Texas A&M gave up 25 offensive rebounds. They've got to tighten up that end of the floor.
They scored 92 and lost. At its essence, this is elite offense against elite defense, and offense wins on the first possession today.
Yeah, it is not easy to get inside or downhill against Mississippi State. They are tough on the ball. They are hard in the gaps. Physical, forceful drive by Reeves.
Olu Smith is a great driver for a big man, and he picks up an assist in the first play. Who finishes? You probably know about Dillingham and Shepard off the bench from Cats. And Mississippi State has one of the best bench players in the country in Josh Hubbard. Only the third time this starting five has been on the floor for State. Nobody picks up Jeffries. Got the screen from Bradshaw. Kentucky a little out of sorts on this possession. Here's Edwards to Reeves. Kentucky was loaded with assists and sensational in the half court under Jans. They're 9th in the country in defensive efficiency according to KenPom. They've got an elite three-point percentage defense as well, which will certainly come into play against Kentucky shooters. Here's Wagner with a hand in his face. Big-time three for DJ Wagner.
And the accountability that this guy has brought to the SEC.
He's the 5th winningest coach in active college basketball by win percentage. John Calipari, the Hall of Famer, is number 4. Mitchell off the feed from Shepard. First bucket for Trey Mitchell.
Get 8 shots off from that three-point line tonight.
He's been in double figures all but 2 games this season. Shot clock at 5. Smith had it stripped away. 3-on-2 for the Cats. Here's Shepard. And a skip pass to Reeves for 3. What a look by Shepard.
Yeah, what a smart pass by Shepard, because everybody else sees the game different than most, finds the backside bomb.
It's now an 11-0 Kentucky run. And then Shepard with the steal, snuck up on Tolu Smith. Reeves, 13-0 Kentucky run.
And the live ball turnovers will get Chris Jans to call a timeout.
They got to figure something out and figure it out fast. It's Hubbard. That's the answer. And the transition 3 skips out.
The gamble of pressing Mississippi State is that kid getting loose in transition for threes.
Good swing. And a 3 from the other side from Sean Jones Jr., 31.
Ball from this team from Starkville.
Here's Hubbard. And a good ball movement. Jones again.
Yeah.
Got it.
Tom, it all started, though, with the attention of Hubbard. He got 2 guys on him because he has to get better in that area. Big point of emphasis the last 2 days.
State is +2 on the glass here early in this one. Up Dillingham to Mitchell. What an elite passer Mitchell is. Had a layup, kicked it out for a 3. Got it.
Pretty good decision by Mitchell. You're right, though, because he turned in look like a pretty good thing off with conviction, does he not?
Here's Matthews. You know, there is no doubting Kentucky's talent. And all the guys that are going to be in the NBA and make a lot of money for years and years, Trey Mitchell might be the most important player on the floor for this Cats team.
He is their glue.
Hubbard from the corner.
He is. The list goes on and on in this league.
Cats have struggled with that Dillingham foul, and they've struggled slowing down guards. Wade takes
just a little hop. I mean, they want that. If you're going to jump, that jump has to be the same every time. Otherwise, it can really throw you off, and he has mastered it. This team has their swagger back. Big Blue Nation has their swagger back, and this is a team that has re-energized John Calipari. He knows he's got a squad that could make major noise in March.
Dillingham off the window.
So good are those Kentucky guards at the
is reflected on higher point totals for their opposition. But talking with the coaching staff, they said, listen, we know we're going to give teams 10 more possessions than they normally have. Challenge is to be more efficient. Wagner with the step through. What a play.
I'm not sure there's a better guard in his shots than Wagner.
State just 5 for 14 to start this game. Here's Jimmy Bell, size advantage on Bradshaw, and he just simply backed him down.
Yeah, Bradshaw, former.
And he still has NFL scouts drooling with his potential playing tackle. Here's Scott, long 2. Offensive board, they lost it. Cats with a chance to push. Dillingham to Edwards. Dillingham knew it wasn't the perfect shot, but he
by Edwards to recognize it.
Bell fighting for it. Pulled out of there by Bradshaw.
Kentucky faster to the ball so far in this game.
Here's Dillingham in the paint and going to the line.
Side.
Dillingham has another one. Maybe that's not a great shot. He has the potential to rip off three.
Shoot you right back into the game. That's what I like about this Kentucky team. Those guards, man, multiple guys shoot it with conviction.
Free throw shooting. They gave up points to Bama at the line. Big time rebound by Hubbard.
Mississippi State switching 1 through 4, making sure Tolu Smith, though, doesn't get involved in the switch. He just wore Kentucky out, man, running rim to rim.
Leaders, he'd be top 10 in points and rebounds, 17 and 7 a night, coming off of a double-double against Bama.
He is a warrior, but man, he's one of the sweetest kids in this league. Just a joy to visit with at all times. Loves the game like a guard. Can't allow that.
Great screen though by Onyeka.
BC record, but LSU is much, much improved. Life on the road in this league this year is as good as it's ever been. And Auburn right now just punking people by 19 points a game is their average margin of victory.
He is just a load down.
Still sometimes reacts way too fast. Just a lot.
Smith, he can drive right into trouble and lost it off of Mitchell. Dillingham. And now Wagner with the drive.
Man, he is so. Most young guards in college their first year, they just don't understand the importance of guarding that ball. They open up their hips way too much. Now those straight line drives.
More with the drive from the baseline. A nice kiss.
I know Kentucky's better in their gaps tonight, but you're Mississippi State. You got to keep putting pressure on them to guard that ball. Really well done.
Reeves turns the corner. Mitchell, Mitty. Second bucket of the night for Trey Mitchell. Look at that, 8 points and 13 boards against A&M.
As good as he is with the ball, he's really good without the ball.
Onyeka with his third rejection of the night. Wagner in transition. Back to Shepard. Cashes that one in.
That is a layup. Trying to close out this half.
Mentioned his 15 points a game. It's for a team that only scores 75.
Yeah, exactly.
Reeves through the foul, and he's got 2 coming.
Is LSU going to have another dress like Kim Mulkey night? Did you see that? Thing he can't do is pick and pop. Other than that, he's to buy a billboard outside the NCAA in Indianapolis. Free Big Z. That speaks to what Big Blue Nation is.
I don't know that the folks in Indy are going to be influenced by that.
No.
Here's Reeves. He got hit from behind, and he'll go to the free throw line. Shaquille Moore thought he caught it clean.
A spot shooter when he initially came here. Now very difficult from the 3.
A little bit impatient with it. Wait, the proper answer. You want him to be able to play. The NCAA is happy to give you an answer 2 months ago, but if that answer is no, what'd you accomplish?
If it truly is about the stipends he received in international ball, then we have a real problem with how we're viewing this thing, because
at the free throw line, he's been shooting the ball really well lately.
Play for Chris Jans.
64% start offensively, shooting 56%. They've already made 5 threes. And they've gotten the better of Mississippi State's great defense. Bradshaw fouled on the jam. Jeffries charged with the foul. Doing it against a team that came in with great defensive accolades.
Guys that come in, one's averaging 17, the other.
Bus reinflated the tires after starting winless through the first 3 in conference play.
Yeah. Tom, that was a deflated team on Saturday night after their loss at Florida, and for Muss to get his team right and take down A&M, that's what Bradshaw can do, man. You can't double off of him and try to trap that ball. He's too good at the pick and pop, and he's a really good shooter in that short roll from 15.
So Bus got a little bit of a tune-up?
They did. Got some air in the tires, got some hope.
3 ball goes. That was an arrow from. It's an amazing number. I heard that Saturday. Whoa. Dillingham feeds Bradshaw to pick and roll.
Pretty good contact by Bradshaw. And
here's Sean Jones. Lost control on his way in. Kentucky +4 on the glass. Reeves with the Euro.
Little lingerie on the floor. Defense by Kentucky has been as good as it's been all year.
Cats might get to .500 here the first 20. Jones with the steal. Here's Tolu. Easy deuce. Only 4 points in the first half for Tolu Smith.
Yeah, if I'm John Calipari, he's going to take this thing down right now. A beautiful first half for Kentucky. One careless miscue right there.
Dillingham for three. You surprised he didn't run a little bit more?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I don't think that's what Cal was wanting out of his guys. To your point about Dillingham, feels like leather. Let it go. Whoa.
Oh,
whoa.
Not a wise pass. It's Kentucky basketball with 10.9. 8 seconds left. Shepard behind Bradshaw. Here's Dillingham. It's going up, and it got rejected. 2/10 of a second remaining.
Half's over.
Wouldn't have counted if it went. Well, Mississippi State is 2 and 30.
Has really impressed me. They are gap heavy. They're doing a good job of guarding the ball. One of the better halves of Kentucky so far this year.
Thirsty? I haven't used that. I've heard that used in basketball terms before.
I'm stunned that you haven't.
I like it.
Oh,
whoa.
wow.
Golly.
Like I said, anything soft in this league this year will not be rewarded. Just not enough explosion.
He may have broken a camera on the baseline. Here's the feed to Tolu Smith. Leans in for the bucket. That's only his third field goal of the game.
Yeah, that
clock at 4. And Reeves missed the layup. Into Tolu, and he gets fouled by Bradshaw.
Well, Bradshaw had an opportunity to win the meet. Career minutes. You know how many three-point shots that he's attempted? None.
What?
Almost 3,000 minutes played in a college game and has not attempted a three. He knows where his game is.
Just doesn't know where the line is. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell got mugged. Matthews.
Private from 4 or 5 spots.
Former #1 team in the country, Tommy Lloyd's Arizona.
Auburn out of this league, North Carolina, and BYU. Those are your 6 that are getting it done on both ends of the floor at a pretty good rate.
One of the reasons Auburn's riding a 9-game win streak is they go into the West End tonight to take on Vandy. Briefly to Sean Davis.
So, Tom, you come with a backside 3 and a good start in the second half for Mississippi State.
And a takeaway for the Bulldogs. Numbers, they push, and Tolu Smith there to clean it up.
And be the older, more physical team. In this half so far, they have been.
It's ripped by Davis. 3-on-2 for Mississippi State. They shuffle it to Smith, and he has taken over this second half.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And another turnover. Davis leading the charge. He'll pull it out.
I think Cal will wish he would have taken that timeout as that ball was coming up, because now look at it, 49-40.
It was clean.
I think Dawn Staley, I know her fairly well from the past. She takes it personal when someone wins the title other than her. Her squad right now, their average margin of victory for South Carolina, right at 40 points
of rebound.
That length equates to a tip out so well for Kentucky.
On Calipari, 17-1 all-time against Mississippi State. Here's Onyenso off the assist from Shepard. And now they got their scorer, Hubbard, in the game. Left it short from the mid-range. He's really struggling with a shot tonight. 1 for 8 in his first trip to Rupp Arena. Here's Reeves. Baseline floor.
Yeah, this is Hubbard. Hard guard, Antonio Reeves.
In college basketball, charges have gone the way of the dodo.
Yeah, pretty much, they have.
Lob to Smith. And last year, 11-0. That starts in so far.
Mike White's team, they don't beat themselves.
State showed a little full court pressure. So Kentucky late getting into its offense. Mitchell with 10. Great defense by Matthews. And then he fouled him. And Mitchell making him pay.
He is so good. You mentioned Jans as a grinder. From Valley Parking Cars, a substitute teacher, and he's the director of a men's dorm on campus.
Well, Matthews,
I think that was nearly going in.
Yeah. That pass or a terrible pass, right? You throw it right in the hoop.
He can't get one to go as a shooter. He gets one to drop as a passer.
Mitchell draws another foul. That was on Tolu Smith, and Mitchell going to the free throw line again. To the floor that the other 9 guys on the court don't know and don't see.
Maybe the only Portuguese water dog out there that hates the water.
You keep the receipt. Here's Hubbard behind Bell. And an offensive putback by Cameron Matthews. You got to wonder. 5 against Tennessee, including 5 for 10 from deep against a great defensive team.
In 28 minutes?
Yeah.
How many teams are going to do that to Tennessee this year? How many kids?
Reeves able to corral a bad pass, gets it back to Anienso. Anienso with
another grateful kid like Oscar Shibwe, who, by the way,
accomplished in a Kentucky uniform.
He has, if you don't move with the game, tells you to go.
Dillingham tracks down the rebound. Mississippi State had made this thing really interesting, cut the lead down, but now the Cats have made 5 in a row.
See that step by Antonio Reeves? It's so good and long and clever, and gets him away from the defense as well as any guard in this league at his size.
And an answer from deep. It's Lorenzo. 2 different high schools, a prep school, UT Martin, and then 2 different junior colleges, Copiah Lincoln and Howard College. Big fella inside. Nice touch for Jimmy Bell Jr.
And Jimmy Bell was averaging close to a double-double before Tolu Smith. Not able to put Mississippi State away in this game.
Bell started the first 14 games of the season. Smith missed the first 12. Dillingham into the big fella. Shepard open on the wing. Got it.
I think the entire time Dillingham knew this ball was going to end up with Shepard. He drove that thing with a purpose, the hammer pass, and then the quick reversal, one more to Shepard. Beautiful offense.
How about the touch for Bell again?
What'd you say he wasn't?
At the Big 12 tournament last year, a Kansas City Chiefs scout, the tournament in Kansas City, pulled Huggins aside and said, hey, this kid could make the NFL today as a tackler. And then ended up playing for Huggins, basically replaced Oscar Shibwe.
NCAA tournament team brings a lot of experience, just adds to the physicality.
Imagine all the work that goes into that.
He lost a 5th grader.
Yeah, he did. Here's Bradshaw. State got their hands on it. Bell on the floor for it. Jones with the lob. It wasn't clean, but he got it off in time to Trey Ford.
Right, Stapleton and Jason Aldean came on. Sean Jones went off the charts with his energy. Big-time country music fan is Sean Jones.
No jelly roll. Here's Dillingham.
Yeah, he's got everything in his playlist.
To be a country music star.
That went almost as well.
Under 8.
Why did I tell you I had that conversation?
I think I didn't know. Shepard with the pump fake will go to the line for Shepard was fouled on. It's a 2. He's got 2. His dad Jeff, not the only national champion. State able to track it down. Contested 2. That's a tough shot. Tolu Smith finds the rebound, and it turns into a 3-point chance. Oscar Shibwe was a great rebounder and large.
One of the areas that Tolu needs to grow. He's only averaging like 6 rebounds a game right now. Too good, too big to not be a 9 or 10 rebound guy.
Lob. Finished by Bradshaw.
Anytime you go zone against
Mississippi native who was committed to Kermit Davis in Ole Miss, waiting on the wing, trying to find his stroke tonight. Kermit was relieved of his duties in Oxford. Mississippi State pounced on the opportunity to get the all-time leading scorer in state history. Follow jam, Cameron Matthews. And Dillingham went the opposite way. Finds Shepard, who finds Bradshaw.
He is so smart to read Shepard. He looked to have live ball turnovers. Really gave Kentucky separation.
State hadn't scored in a couple of minutes. Reeves down the lane and a reach in on Mississippi State. 2 free throws coming for Antonio Reeves.
Too old, too physical, and defensively taking threes. There's no reason for Kentucky to get overstretched in this game.
Well, it'll be really interesting when Alabama comes here last weekend in February for an afternoon contest. Two of the top scoring teams in all of college basketball. Tolu Smith, deep money.
Just absolute money. And he wins that spot, and you don't push him off for a 7-footer. He gets low and wide. A major weapon.
And a reach in on Moore.
Been impressed with their physicality with Tolu in this ball game. One-on-one, they made him work for his 17 points, but make no mistake now, he's a force in a basketball game. They work off that high butt screen, and he just goes to work inside one-on-one.
Here's Fort. Wow, big shot. Fort started. Ball poked away, but Kentucky finds it. Here's Mitchell for three. What can he not do?
Tom, has Kentucky not gotten every 50-50 ball in this game?
Coming off of a loss in overtime to Texas A&M. Trying to erase that memory. And his staff said, listen, these guys came back in. They were disappointed with the loss, but there's no pointing fingers. There's no, hey, why did you shoot that one? Why did you get that rebound? Rattles home for Tolu Smith.
He loves ball. He approaches the game like a guard. They have to literally lock the doors and kick him out of the gym. He's an overworker, which is uncommon for a 7-footer. A lot of times when you're that big, the game chooses you. You don't choose the game. He chose the game, and I love his spirit.
Going to Western Kentucky to start his college career.
Yes, I'm just still trying to find my groove and my rhythm in a game, but he's coming on. You know, you mentioned Scott Padgett earlier.
Yeah.
The assistant from Mississippi State. One of the beloved all-time guys here at Kentucky as a player. Ooh, man, that shoulder speed and whip. That's what Tolu Smith can do to you. But Scott Padgett told me today, watch out. He actually purchased. No, he's waiting to build his dream home and actually put it in his home. So, but he does call once a year, he told me, and makes sure that Rupp knows that piece of the floor is mine.
So somewhere in the bowels of his building,
yes.
Reeves with a three-point play. Point
yes.
comeback for Kentucky that night in the building. Smith with the jam. You know,
in a tie.
I'm surprised it didn't end in a fight.
Jeff Shepard dribbled the ball out because he wanted to end in a tie. and he's still mad about it. Well, Kentucky once again, they come in averaging 91, and look what they got against one of the better defensive teams. They threw a lot of physical teams, and that's when your weakness gets exposed. You get knocked out in March by what your weakness was all regular season long. Kentucky's got to continue to grow defensively.
Wow, Trey Ford came flying out of nowhere. 13 for him, 13-point lead for Kentucky. Mississippi State will get back at it. They got Vandy Saturday afternoon on the SEC Network. Meanwhile, Kentucky draws Georgia. And for John Calipari, his 400th win as the head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats. This one maybe a little bit easier than expected. They didn't stand long for Mississippi State's vaunted defense.